We're seeing some of the best of remote Northern Territory out here, but in the past few weeks we've also seen some of the worst in Alice Springs. You were there late last year. You spent a week there with Senator Jacinta Price, and you called for a Royal Commission after your visit there. What was it that you saw in Alice Springs that alarmed you so much?
It wasn't quite a week, but it was a good time on the ground, both in Alice and then Darwin. But spending a few days there is important because it allows you to move away from the bureaucratic advice out of Canberra. It means that you're not just talking to the usual suspects. And when we went out to homes to speak to mothers and grandmothers and the elders in that community, you get it in the raw. And I think the Prime Minister would do himself, a great service by going, forget the media and the cars and the rest of it. Go and listen to the practical advice and the experience, not the sanitised version that you get in meetings with public servants, with all due respect to them. And I think what we saw in Alice and why we called for the Royal Commission was that, I saw those little kids this morning who are at school in uniform. They're well behaved, they're learning their own language, they're learning English, they're involved in a space program. I want that for every Indigenous child. And yet in Alice Springs and elsewhere, we're seeing kids who are causing all sorts of trouble of a night time because they don't feel safe going home to their home to sleep there during the hours of darkness. The levels of sexual abuse are unacceptable by any decent by any standard. One case is one case too many, but in some communities they're talking about 100% of sexually transmitted diseases or 100% of children with STDs. I mean, that is an abomination. And so I think in that circumstance you do need to have a Royal Commission, because if the bureaucracy and the systems have failed that dramatically, that have facilitated this sort of dysfunction, then we need to understand why.
Peter Dutton there speaking to Matt Cunningham in East Arnhem Land.